On both sides of the issue gathered outside the Supreme Court today, some protesting and some praying. And similar scenes really playing out all across the country. Correspondent Joe Khalil is also live for us in Washington. Now, Joe, you have been outside the Supreme Court all day. Kelly just mentioned people have been gathered there. What is the reaction from demonstrators out there so far?
I mean, you could see it earlier today, Nichole. We were out here, as you mentioned, after 6 a.m., and there were demonstrators on both sides of this issue, even before the sun came up. And it was pretty clear that, sometimes it's hard to understand the complicated process that, the Supreme Court goes through, or even all the legal language. But what is very clear that people understand are the stakes in this case and what it's going to mean moving forward for abortion nationwide.
The eyes of the nation on the highest court in the land. Americans across the country all stopped to hear Supreme Court oral arguments on the Mississippi law that bans abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy.
And at the state's lone clinic.
I'm Anna Ferris here in Mississippi as abortion activists start to gather right here in downtown Jackson. Anti-abortion activists have already started interrupting this rally.
And outside the high court in Washington,
Abortion bans have got to go. Hey, hey, hello.
thousands of pro-life and pro-choice demonstrators lent their chants, emotions, and messages to the chorus of the historic day.
As a woman, I make choices for my own body every single day, and not once does one of those choices end the life of another innocent human being.
The idea is that abortion needs to be accessible to those who need it when they need it. And so I think there's no compromise here.
Lawmakers from both parties made the trip across the Capitol lawn. Republican Senator Roger Marshall says anything short of fully overturning Roe isn't enough.
I'll be fighting for life beginning at conception, but this is a step in the right direction.
And New York Governor Kathy Hochul came to the nation's capital for the historic arguments.
I'm here to stand in solidarity with the women of this country to ensure that our rights that are protected since 1973 in Roe v. Wade are not compromised.
And some of the protesters that we heard from as the hearing, the oral argument started, they were trying to read the tea leaves. And by the way, so were lawmakers. We talked to some members of Congress today who said on the Democratic side that if Roe versus Wade is overturned or even cut into, that they may try to pass a law that could somehow codify parts of Roe versus Wade into law. Obviously, we got to wait until the judges come down with their decision. Nichole.
All right, Joe Khalil, great job bringing us both sides there. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.